everybody. Well, Margot Levette back. It's day 3. I hope that you can hear me and you don't have all this ambient background noise because I live across the street from a high school and they're getting ready for a really big game. And, I'm over here dancing because the band is warming up and they just doing their thing. But hello, everyone. Nevertheless, podcasters forge on and we carry on, and it is day 3, where I am coming to you to present 5 things I know that you need to consider before you dash out and buy an expensive camera or mic, or even decide upon who's going to teach me how to put my podcast together. So we started out with your why. And I told you that always need to have that backup to your why in place. And then we took a look at took a look at your expectations, emotional and financial expectations becoming a podcaster. So today we are going to take a look at your interests. Where are your interests? Is your podcast going to be in alignment with your interests? And like I said, all of these questions that I pose to you, nobody can answer them except for you. So take some time and think about that. What are you interested in? Are you bodacious enough to go before the world and share your interest with everyone? And let me tell you, you don't have to be an expert. Her business, her voice, her conversation was created for the woman coming out of corporate, and now she wants to be a podcaster. She wants to write a book. She wants to become an entrepreneur. Do you think for 1 minute that I know everything about writing a book, that I know everything about being an entrepreneur? You gotta be kidding me. No way. But I'm interested enough to make sure that I bring on those folks that just give you the most information and inspiration that you can hold. So that's how you present your interest and your content so that it's not all on your shoulders. No, you're not going to be all things to all men, but you can bundle your interests and it can be valuable as you give it out to everyone in the world, across the globe, because podcasting is global. You're never just going to be in your own zip code. And that's the beauty of it. You got people in Spain, you have people in the Philippines, you have people in the UK. Eventually, they will find you and they will subscribe. They will follow you. They will hang on to your every word. They will come to trust you because you are diligently hanging in there and giving them information concerning your interests, which is their interests. Because remember what I said early on, listeners invite us into their space. We don't go like a bull in a china cabinet. Nope. They invite us. They find us or they follow us and they invite us in. And that feels so good. So when you are sure about aligning your interests to your podcast, you're going to seek out the best. You're going to seek out the funniest. You're going to seek out the most informative. And no, people don't have to be celebrities. Everybody does not have to be a celebrity to be on your podcast, to share your interests, to enlarge the understanding of your listener. You do your vetting. You follow your heart on your interest. So her business, her voice, her conversation was built up on those that want to become podcasters. And I just found that I normally fell into this thing of podcasting. That's where my interest just fell. And I eat, sleep, drink it. I really, really do. Is this a hobby? No. So I too am in the seat, buckled into the seat of learning how to become an entrepreneur. It's an ongoing thing. Yeah, I have a strategist and I listen to her. I really do. There's Brother Bedford's The Mob, Masters of Business. I duck in there from time to time. So you never want to find yourself without consultation when you decide upon your upon your yoking your interest with your podcast, you always want to have consultation with someone that you trust, someone who's been an entrepreneur or is an entrepreneur, someone who's been a podcaster or they are a podcaster, someone who is actively there in your field of interest. That's who you want to latch on to, because most fields are evolving and ever growing. And there, as I heard Mr. Marquell Russell say, you always have blind spots. So you always want to connect yourself with someone who can make you aware of your blind spots as you present your interests to the world. So that's all I have today concerning putting your interests together with your podcast. They indeed go hand in hand in a mighty way. But do not for 1 second believe that you have to know everything. You'll burn yourself out. As a matter of fact, you won't even get started. There's no way you're going to know everything. You are interested. You are invested. You're right there with it. But it's sources of interest are so large, there's no way that you're going to know everything about it. So don't let that stop you, okay? Decide upon your interest. Yoke it to your podcast, all right? So your call to action, your homework for today is to decide upon what interests. And we can't, most of us are interested in so many things. It's almost impossible to put everything in unless we're going to have a talk stew or whatever. And even then, you have to be strategic about it, and what are your interests going to be in alignment with the audience that you're going after. All of those things come into play. But narrow it down. It's all about niching down your interests, really and truly. And like I say, I opened up with 3 of them, and I still hold firm to that entrepreneurship. And my God, I hold firm to content and writing. That creative side of me is just never going to die. But it's the podcasting that I invest my time, my money, my bandwidth, my mind, my eyes into. And even then, I'm always consulting others. What's going on over here? What's going on over there? How do you do that? Always inquiring, So that's what I have today about concerning your interests. Man in the mirror, where's your interests lie, and how are you going to connect that to your podcast, And on my parting note, speaking of interests, I'm not one that's always a part of an anthology. But Sheila Farr, and you guys in Biloxi, the Gulf Coast, you guys know her. She is a bombshell. She approached me about a project, a joyful heart. I want to make sure I had the title correct. And I didn't give her an answer, yay or nay. I thought, I'm Christian, so I prayed about it. I have always have things going on, the show, and just the project with Womel was coming up. I knew it, and I thought, if I'm going to do this, I really, really need to make sure that I can have good content that is coming from the joy of my heart. So it took a couple of days, and thoughts they came to me, about my own joyful heart, my own authenticity, the root of it. 4 things, 5 things that I presented about my own joyful heart. And ladies and gentlemen, these days have been so trying. I wanted to be part of a project that was going to spread some joy to others, that somebody could open up a book and say, wow, that brought a smile to my face. If that brought them joy, the same thing can bring joy to me. I wanted to be a part of that project. So I said yes. And I wrote my chapter in this awesome anthology. And let me get to the point. The point is, today the anthology, A Joyful Heart, launches. Now, It launched, and of course, Sheila being Sheila, the fearless leader, she's going for bestseller status over on Amazon. So I'm asking for your support. I'll have at the top of this podcast, of this episode broadcast, I will have a link leading over to Amazon. Will you please go ahead and purchase a digital copy today to catapult us up to bestseller status? I've already been there a couple of times, but I know that there are some authors who have not reached that. And I want them to understand the thrill of it. And you know what? I'm a part of this. I'm a part of this awesome anthology that is going to bring so much peace and joy and resolve to people until, yeah, I want it to be on the bestseller list. Yeah, I do. And it can only happen if you say yes and if you support me, the rest of the authors, as we do that today. It's today. You know that how that bestseller status goes. You go ahead and everybody and their brother jumps in and makes that purchase one day, and so it can happen. So I'm asking, you have not because you ask not. And I'm asking you to please make a purchase, digital copy. And actually, you can get more than one copy. Go in, make a purchase, double on back, make another purchase. It's a great opportunity for someone. You can gift it to someone who's gone through grief or someone who's just shut in. We can't forget about those people that are not able to motivate and navigate still. The residual effects of COVID are still paralyzing them. Thank God, when I had COVID, I was able to move past all of that. It's a fight, but I was able to move past and no residuals. I know of people who are still fighting through the effects of COVID. So when you get a copy of a Thankful Heart, get one for yourself and get one that you can gift to someone else, a club member or a family member. My God, we have so many family members that are just suffering and we don't know how to help them. How do we help them? Give them the gift of a lift, a smile, a chance to look at something different outside of where they are. That misery, that turmoil, that agony. Give people something that they can lean up on. If not today, then they can cycle on back and open up the chapters, the digital chapters of this book. The hard copies coming later, as always, and I will be gifting hard copies because, man, oh man, have we been through some times, and we need some laughter. We need some joy. We really, really do. We need some celebration of life. So enough of that. As you can see, my interest does still move on. And that's what happens when you're a podcaster. When your interest is yoked to your podcast, then people see what you're doing and they seek you out. And if it's a good fit, then you jump on. And once that project is over, holy cow, you see how awesome it is and what a privilege it is to be part of something much bigger than yourself. And believe you me, to podcast, you are yoked to something that is much bigger than yourself. I'm Margot Levette, and I teach podcasting. And I guess by now you know that. Didn't want to thrust it up on you because I want you to get the facts. Today we had 3 things I want you to think about. Tomorrow we'll move on into number 4, which is, what is your relationship with podcasts? Yeah, we're going to look at that. What is your relationship with podcasts? We're going to deep dive into that tomorrow. And at the end of all of this, of course, I will be asking you to consider me as your teacher for teaching and introducing you and getting you into position as a podcaster. I'll go ahead and put that disclaimer out right now, okay? It would be my awesome pleasure to lead you, to teach you, to guide you, to establish you. All right. If you find it in your heart and in your time, the download for the digital product today is $1.49. $1. and 49 cents. Shoot us up to bestseller status. Will you do that for me today? I will see you back here tomorrow. Okay? I hate to say goodbye. I just love this podcasting thing. I just love everything that comes out of it because I'm in position. But I must go. Busy day. See everybody tomorrow. Bye-bye now.